love a nice massage and a belly rub. Nothing makes me feel more relaxed. I like my ears rubbed. I like my paws rubbed. I like my back rubbed. I like my tail rubbed. I like to relax while I have a massage. It's my favorite thing to do. But if you really wanna know what I like, listen close. Rub my belly, rub my belly, rub my belly, my belly, my belly. Rub my belly, rub my belly, rub my belly, my belly, my belly. I like my ears rubbed. I like my paws rubbed. I like my back rubbed. I like my tail rubbed. I like to relax. A massage and some snacks. It's my favorite thing to do. But if you really wanna know what I like, listen close. Rub my belly, rub my belly, rub my belly, my belly, my belly. Rub my belly, rub my belly, rub my belly, my belly, my belly. I go walking down the street. 1, 2, 3. I go walking down the street. Look at me. Come on, all you doggies, won't you walk with me? I'm the puppet, 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 puppet dog. I go walking down the street. Yes, I do. I go walking down the street. How about you? My mama has a puppet toy that we can shoot. I'm the puppet, 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 puppet dog. I'm the puppet, 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 puppet dog. I'm the puppet, 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 puppet dog. I'm the lassiest, sassiest dog around. I'm the scrappiest, happiest dog in town. It feels so good to stretch my legs. Please get my leash, don't make me beg. I need exercise, don't you see? So why not come on, all you doggies, won't you walk with me?
Hey there, hi everybody. Sorry about that long intro. Welcome to the Animal Intuitive channel. I'm Angela Webb, and here we talk about all things animals, having to do anything holistically or having to do with animal communication, animal massage, animal acupressure. So welcome to the show if you're new here. And hello everybody who's seeing Mel Mac, Judy Ann. It's good to see everybody. Good night, Owl. And it looks like some people are kind of come back later. Well, that's fine. This will be available on a replay, so that'll be great if you come back. Oh, somebody sent a picture. I really wish. Oh, I'll have to see if I can grab it during the show. And good to see you, Minka. Thank you for being here. So, everybody, I really just tonight planned on doing mini consultations for anybody that is available who wanted to have that. So let me know if there's anybody here. Hi, Tammy, who wanted me to talk with their pet. I have a little bit of something I can talk about if we don't have anybody, but I'm just checking to see if there is anybody who wanted me to talk with their animal tonight. I'm having like a little bit of an allergy. That's why I sound like stuffy. I'm not sick. I don't know what that's from. So I hope everybody is well. Okay, well, I don't see anybody yet that is wanting me to talk with their pet. So as I said, let me know if you are here for that. But let me know how everyone's doing too in the chat. And in the meantime, I actually have something that I would really appreciate some help, a little bit of a kind of a study that I want to do. It's kind of a very informal mini study that I'm doing. So I don't know if people here have heard of something called Brainspotting, but Brainspotting is something that I do I have a clinical practice. So, I'm here as an animal communicator, but I also I'm a licensed counselor, and I have a completely a separate practice, and I can use Brainspotting there. But it's something that I think is helping my dog, and I'm kind of waiting to see. I don't want to jump on it too soon. It's not something that you do with traditionally animals. It's something that is a human method of helping people with things like trauma, really anything, performance issues with singers or sports people, dancers who are having performance anxiety or just want to do better. It definitely is used with trauma, grief, recovery, all sorts of things, family issues from childhood, just anything. So it's really amazing. It's kind of a newer-ish practice that's out there, and I have trained in it. And so, as I mentioned, it's something in my clinical practice, but I decided to just see what would happen if I did this little motion that you do with your hand when you do Brainspotting. And I'll give you a tiny bit of background just to kind of help you understand a little bit better. Oh, you'd like me to talk to Lady. She's getting slow. Okay, sleeping a lot more. Sure, Tammy. We can certainly do that. I will just do that in a moment. This is going to be really quick. So basically, I have my brain here. This is a human pretend brain, not a dog brain, but very similar. The idea is basically that with Brainspotting, we're bypassing the top part of the brain. So this is the part where speech is, this is more the thinking, aware part of the brain. And we're going to down here to the lower part of the brain. And that's where the limbic system is, you may have heard of. So that's where sometimes people and animals have traumas that happen in their lives, and they end up having sort of more of a reaction with the limbic system. Things kind of go a little bit haywire. So what we're trying to do is get to that lower part of the brain and down here. So what I've tried to do with Brainspotting, which is basically, you have a pointer. I don't have mine with me, but and with the client, you're using the pointer you do different things with it, but you're having the person look and find a brain spot. So it's accessing through seeing through the eye. They're looking at a certain spot, and there's a certain spot where they're going to feel more reactivity. And this is a really oversimplified explanation of this, but if you're interested, you can find more about this on the internet. And I'll try to remember to put a link in the description it's like Brainspotting USA or brainspotting.com. It's pretty easy to find. Is that the cat? Did you just go around? I saw her get down in the background, and then my wires are moving. So by the way, it was Gia's birthday yesterday. So thank you for all the birthday well wishes for Gia yesterday. I put her picture in the community post eating her flounder in her special tower. So thank you, everybody. She also got a new toy. So it was an exciting day. Anyway, so we have this pointer, people look at it, and basically they go into the memory or the issue, whatever they're trying to process through. And it's amazing. It's just sort of like your own sort of intuition is helping you to get to that place. And really the person who's doing this with you, presumably the therapist or whatever, is not really saying much during that time. There's a little help, but it's sometimes, but mostly it's you processing it. So it's something, you know, if you're stuck on anything, you might want to look into this. But I decided just to do this with Kane, my dog, German Shepherd, because he's had a lot of things happen in his life, and we've come a long way with him, but he's reactive at times to things like lights, sounds. So I decided just wanted to try this with him, and I started to do this thing in front of his eyes when he started to react. And it seems to be helping. It's, you know, I'm not going to say that I'm not making any sort of like statement here that this is a treatment at all. I'm just telling you that this is something I've been doing, which is just going like this when he starts to bark and react, and it distracts him and it does something. And, you know, he calms down, he gets a hold of himself. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm interested in having other people try this with their animals. I'd love to see if they have the same experience with their animal. And this may sound familiar to people too if you've heard of EMDR. It is different. The way that it works, we know, is different. But like what's actually happening with it, but it does look similar on the outside, like with the movement. And with the EMDR, you continue to do this motion, or you've got some kind of bilateral stimulation. Although you listen to binaural beats, which is another thing. Some music. I actually have something like that on one of my free downloadable animal communication, which is on my website, because it's very relaxing and it helps you get into that. Did I lose myself when I did that? Hold on. Well, that's the meditation. But you can get that on my website, intuitivetouchanimalcare.com. But, you know, if you're familiar with EMDR, it's another form of treatment, and mainly founded to help people with trauma, but it helps with a lot of things. With that, you're watching a light or movement or that bilateral stimulation. But with this, the person just finds this brain spot, and you go with that. So it's a little bit different. I guess I am incorporating a little bit of that movement that's different because it's a little bit more EMDR-ish, but this is not official. It's no scientific study. So basically go with it. Like if you want to try this with your pet, if you have a pet who barks or reacts, you know, obviously be safe. I'm not saying to, like, if they're having like an issue with another dog and there's like chaos going on, I'm not saying to stop and be doing this with your finger, but you know, if it's a safe situation, you know, use your own judgment. But just to see what happens if you do this kind of thing, or if you do this and you're able to get their attention away from the craziness that's going on, and you can get them to focus on one thing. So the idea is to get the attention of the animal, and then, you know, potentially to stop there and see if they'll focus, or just keep doing this. And just kind of go with what intuitively works. But I would love to hear from you in the comments if you find that this helps you, if you're watching the replay. And also, I'm interested in kind of collecting information about this. So if you'd like to take part in it, please email me at intuitivetouchanimalcare.com. I'm also going to put that in the description. My email's down there anyway, I think, and my website, but I'll put it in there for anybody who's watching it later. So that's pretty much that. I'm just interested in seeing what happens if people try something different like that. And, you know, it's something that I've, you know, I think can be combined with animal communication to some degree. So I'm playing around with that. It's something I did try with a client's dog at one point, but she was a fellow therapist, and, you know, she wasn't available to do it long term. Like we didn't set it up formally. So I'm trying to do this a little bit more, like keeping track of the results of it, and just to see how it goes. Just something I think would be interesting to see. So please do get in touch with me if you'd like to receive information about this, and we'll go from there. So, oh, thank you so much, Mel Mac. You're so wonderful. Mel Mac has been moderating and doing. I just really appreciate her. She's so wonderful. Thank you. Okay, so, oh, you have trauma from your husband home for 2 weeks with a hip replacement. I'm sure you're doing a lot of caretaking, it sounds like. Okay, so you did some flaxseed, like we talked about, since she was on last, and okay, so, you can't read community posts, so you didn't get to see the amazing Gia. Oh, that's okay. Okay, so okay, so lady, hold on. I'm going to see if, I think it's going to be hard for me to bring up her picture. Do you want to come on, Tammy, and put the camera on her? Do you feel like doing that tonight, or I don't know if that's possible for you tonight. I'm going to put the link in the description. I mean, in the chat, if you want to come on. I'm curious, have people heard of these things like the EMDR or Brainspotting? Brainspotting is picking up in, for lack of a better way to put it, for a treatment modality for therapy, a popularity. It's something that helps people get to things quicker in theory. Like it's definitely, studies are being done to make it, I don't know, more and more evidence-based, official that type of thing. But it's definitely being used as a treatment modality for people. Oh, okay, Gia's here. So I'm just making sure we don't have anything get knocked over. Okay. Yeah, just click the link if okay. She's sleeping and I look a mess. She's a Shih Tzu. Yes, okay. Hey Gia, you want to say hi? You want to come up close? Come here. You can come say hi. All right, so I will tune in with Lady. So you just kind of let me know what specifically you want me to ask her. And if you're watching the replay, I know sometimes people will drop off if they don't see things happening, because sometimes I'm listening or I'm waiting to just get the response about what she wants me to talk about. Oh, okay. Just fast forward, you can double click on the screen and fast forward if you're not familiar with how to do that, if you don't want to wait in the silence. I'm just trying to see if I missed it, Tammy, like what you specifically... Oh, you just want to see how she's feeling. Okay. How she's feeling. Okay. How she's feeling and why. She seems to me to do better on what I give her. Yeah, I think the tower's a little bit less leaning. It's still leaning a little bit, but okay. Lady. And by the way, for those of you who are new here, animal communication is understanding what animals are thinking and feeling. And we do this using the senses. Basically, anything that you would think of as a sense, you can use to pick up telepathically what an animal is thinking and feeling. So I may receive information through little videos that come through my mind. I may have words or sentences that I pick up. I may feel something on my body, like a pain or a twinge or whatever the animal's telling me that they're feeling in their body. It can just be a knowing. It can be something that, it could be a scent, it could be taste. I think I said all of them. And if you're somebody that is interested more in the science of that kind of thing, like what are we learning about that? How do we, just people who are a little more scientific. I did an episode last week where I talk about a study that hypothesizes what's going on in the brain with telepathy. So they're starting to understand it a little bit better. But many of us just know from experience that, especially when you're connected to a human or an animal, you have experiences where you just know what's happening with that animal or human, and you can't explain it, or your phone will ring and you'll know who it is on the other end of the line before you pick it up. That's a good example of telepathy. Yeah, definitely try this. Try it with Contessa. Oh, okay. Since her hearing isn't so good anymore. Okay. Yes, I'd love to hear how it goes. Let me know if you want to kind of take part in doing this, my mini study. Good Night Owl, let me know. Email me. Lady doesn't bark anymore, just screams. Oh, okay. All right. I'm sorry, I don't remember what the actual diagnosis or issue was. But when I talk with an animal, because Tammy has been here before, and I'm sorry, I'm forgetting what the actual main problem was. But when I receive the information, I'm going to say whatever I get, whether it makes sense to me or not. A lot of times that's what's important. So just to say, to start out, I get this thing with her lying on her bed, and I'm getting breathing, feeling better, and I feel like it has to do with something that you're doing. I don't know exactly what it is, but I'm getting my breathing's better. I feel better. Cushing's. That's what I was thinking. Am I doing Cushing's? Okay. It's coming back to me. Okay, and dementia. Okay. So let me know as I'm doing this. Had full mastectomy too. Okay. Okay, so you know how it is. Let me know as I'm going along what makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, I can always go back in and clarify, get more information, or well, just let me know what's making sense or is not making sense. So yeah, I just get this brighter feeling, there's something improving, and I am getting more air. And I'm seeing her lying on her side on her bed. I also hear tickling, tickles. I don't know what that is. She's feeling. Are you tickling her? Are you doing something? Did you do something like that with her that she seemed to enjoy? I don't know. Am I getting tickles? She says, taking my time. You know, she definitely feels like resting is helpful. She's enjoying resting. She feels like it's helpful that she gets to, when she gets to just be still. So you're saying, I gave her Prana Pet drops. I'm not sure what that is. Flaxseed. Clara, I wrapped a towel around her neck under her chin. Really bothers her. Adrenal. Explain a little bit, if you could. Why did you wrap the towel around her neck, under her chin? An adrenal question mark. I'm not sure what that means. I know, because you get like this much to write in the chat, and so I understand why you're putting like a shorter, but feel free to keep, and it might delay you too, because I know, I think there is maybe something like that. If you can, I have to look at my settings. If you try to say something too soon, it won't work. So sometimes it's better if we can be on at least audio. But I understand if that's hard to put your camera somewhere. The only thing I can think is that maybe wrapping the towel around her neck is keeping her airway open more. And I don't know what Prana Pets is. Let me see, I'll ask. Let me just get a sense of what that is. Oh, that's for adrenal. Oh, is it? Okay. I'm seeing a couple things. I'm seeing one that is respiratory support, homeopathic. I'm seeing Prana Pet's adrenal support medicine for Cushing disease. Let me know when it lets you talk again. CBDs, adrenal balance. This isn't a great advertisement for Prana Pets here. She likes something under her chin. She constantly is bothered. Have to rub. Have my arm under her neck. I'm asking about adrenal because of Cushing's. Thought it might be cause of irritation. Prana Pet supplements has ashwagandha also. Okay. She likes something under her chin. Okay, yes, Prana for Cushing's. Well, something that you're doing is helping. I'm asking about adrenal because of Cushing's. Thought it might be cause of irritation. Okay. So something that you're doing with either you're saying your arm under the chin, arm under her neck, something's helping with the breathing, and I that's just what's coming up for me. I'm asking about adrenal because of Cushing's. Like, how's her adrenals? Is that what you mean? I feel good about Prana Pets. I'm getting a very good feeling about it. Okay, ask her about the irritation. Can you tell me what irritation though? I'm not sure what. Do you mean like an actual like irritated spot somewhere, or do you mean like she's irritated like emotionally? And then I can ask her that. It sounds like you're talking about a place on her body, but I'm not sure. And just while I'm waiting for that, just if you're watching and you're new to this, or you just want to understand better how this works, we try to, sometimes when we're doing just a longer conversation, under her chin is very irritating. Got it. Okay. Yeah, we're doing a longer conversation. We're going more in depth with, like, not here, but like if I'm doing a session with somebody, you're getting a sense of how the whole animal's doing, their personality, what they're experiencing. But when we're kind of time limited here. I want to, hone in on what the question is. So she's got some irritation under her chin. I get it. Okay, so you have to rub under her chin. It feels related. Yes, okay, I see. You're asking about adrenal because of Cushing's, thought it might be cause of irritation. Okay, now I got it. I do feel it's related. Now, I also want to mention I'm not a vet. I'm not diagnosing. I'm giving this information based on what I'm getting intuitively and what the animal's telling me. And I encourage, everybody who has any issues with their pets, and I know Tammy does this, to make sure they're under proper veterinary care. I tend to favor holistic veterinarians because I feel like there's often more options, there's more hope, there's less side effects, things like that. That's my particular opinion. It's nice when they do everything, which most holistic vets are going to be Western vets too. They're going to know both. But I like to have the extra holistic. To me, there's just more options. It's what I like dealing with, and it fits with just my mindset. But anyway, I'm just letting you know that with animal communication, I'm not diagnosing or treating. I'm giving what the animal's giving me and intuitively what I'm getting. So intuitively, I do feel like that is related to the Cushing's. The way that's coming across, just to be more clear, is like okay, and you want to know anything else I can do for her? I'd love to know. You're welcome. Okay, so let me see. Yeah, it feels like what I see is I see little white, I think symbol, or specifically like cells, like white cells. And it's like, I just hear like gone awry, like something's too much. Asking if there's, just intuitively, if there's anything that could help. I'm not sure that I will get that right now because I don't know everything that you can do for this, but let me see if anything comes up. There's, I don't know what this is, but I'm getting the feeling and image of chamomile. So I would say to look into that and research it, or ask your vet if chamomile is something that they use for this. I mean, obviously, we think of chamomile, it's a stress reliever. Maybe it's that it's something to help calm the system. I'm not sure, but that's what's coming up. And like I said, things will come up with this that I can't give you a reason for sometimes. So it would be something to investigate and see if that's something that maybe could be helpful. And yeah, I know I can't diagnose, but I'm not getting that. I know you're worried about worse condition. It's not what I'm picking up. I will say that. But I know that you're connected to a vet, so I'm sure they're doing testing as needed, but that's not intuitively what I'm getting. Yeah, I don't check that out. Look into chamomile, see what that is used for, other than, and maybe something to do with it being a relaxing thing is something that could help with it. I'm not sure. But it may have some other benefits too that I'm not aware of. Hi, welcome, Jory. Thank you for being here. How old is Lady? Is she... I forget if you said here. I don't know. Good Night Owl's asking. So yeah, you're welcome. I'm so sorry that I know this has been a long time. You've been going through this and you're doing a lot with her. So just prayers that, for your comfort. You've also been taking care of your husband. You've been doing a lot. So hope you're taking care of yourself too. Oh, Gia, she always does this. If you're not familiar, she tends to do baths on camera. Chamomile's better than beer. She's about 13. Oh, yeah, there was something with like a beer scent, and I don't know exactly what that... I know we never really figured that out, why that was coming up. Okay, so yeah, welcome to anybody too who's new here. I'm really appreciative of you coming here. This is a little bit of a low-key night. I didn't have a big lesson planned and just wanted to do I hadn't done any mini communications in a while, so I wanted to do that. I won't be here next week. I will likely be here the week after, but so the last week of March I will not be here. Oh, okay, so you had a question. Would you please tell my beautiful foxhound Finch that I love him? He's just been diagnosed with terminal cancer in his muzzle. We're going to live out, yes, the best life for the next few months. That's a wonderful way to look at it. Well, first of all, I'm very sorry, Jory. You're amongst friends here, and I'm so sorry. But it sounds like you really have a good plan in place just to give Finch a good life the next few months. So I'm just gonna tune in here. The thing I pick up is a real feeling of like that Finch gets that Finch just wants to have fun, that he understands that that's the plan at this point. And so it's like he knows what's going on, but I want to say I don't get that he's attached to any negativity. He's really just like, I get this kind of free spirit personality, and like, I just want to have fun. You're at peace with this for him. Okay, good. So I feel like the message has gotten across to him. However, you must be very in tune with him, because I feel like he already knows that, and that yes, we are sending out loving thoughts for Finch. So I feel like you've conveyed that, you're connected, and he already knows that. I just get this, like, I see a dog that's leaping up into the air, almost like a cartoonish, almost like, just wanting to have fun. And you already, you're feeling that, I'm sure. Yeah. Oh, you're welcome. So, we're praying for you, and through this time that you do have a great time. You told him what was happening, so he wouldn't be afraid. Yeah, and I don't get that he's afraid, so you did a good job of that. It's such a good example of how we can use animal communication to just empower us even in really difficult times, because then we can know that at least we're able to be in deep connection with our pets and help them understand what's going on, and we can understand how they're feeling about it and what their choices are. So there's a really good purpose for using animal communication when animals have these difficult things going on. Absolutely. I'm happy to help, and thank you for sharing, and we appreciate you being here, and you giving me the opportunity to tune in with Finch. Definitely hope you'll be back and let us know how things are going. And yeah, that reminds me, thank you for mentioning that Goodnight Owl. I do have a lot of videos on here, and I actually have the past few, I'm not exactly sure which ones, but if you go backward, I need to start I think I don't have a grief playlist, but I've done a few episodes that had to do with pet loss and grieving, and those would be good to check out. They're pretty recent, some newer ones that I did, and they can be helpful if you're going through all these things these challenges, or any kind of loss, pet loss, even human loss. Love to you too, and thank you for your prayers too. Appreciate it. I have to put those into a playlist, but we also had Dr. Mary Frances O'Connor on, who has been really spearheading research on grief, and she's amazing, so you might want to check out the episode with her. And she helps us to understand what the brain goes through when we're grieving. So, and that kind of ties into the whole thing I talked about at the beginning with Brainspotting. So, all right, well, is there anything else going on? I don't have anything else. If anybody else, anything going on in your lives or in the news with animals, anything that anybody wanted to bring up, kind of open this up just as an Ask Me Anything. If anyone has any questions about animal communication or, whatever, acupressure, massage, those types of things. I do also have, I have classes coming up in the spring, and I may be moving a date for an April class that I had planned to May. But if you're interested in classes, or, definitely either email me and I can put you on the newsletter list, or just to give you updates. Also, you can go to my website, intuitivetouchanimalcare.com, and you can go there and you can go to my classes page and get more information there. This is a class if you're interested in diving in now and learning more in depth. This is animal communication, acupressure, and mindfulness for you and your pets. So this class has some good starter. It's a beginner class, but it's in depth with level 1 animal communication. It also teaches you acupressure points that you can do for yourself and your pets. And the reason for that is to help you with becoming more centered and grounded and mindful. All things that are really helpful when you're practicing animal communication. And also, my intention with this too was just because we live in a lot of chaos in this world, and this class was really constructed to be like a little mini home retreat that you can do for you and your pet. So check that out at intuitivetouchanimalcare.com. And yeah, please do. Thank you, Melmac, for saying that. Please feel welcome here. In grief or preparing for grieving, always an open door. Thank you, Melmac. I appreciate you saying that. Oh, was I on duty, Ron? Oh, no, I wasn't. Do you mean in the chat? I was on, you might be thinking of John Kelly Profiler. I think I was like chatting or something in a duty, Ron, but I was never on his show. We're talking about true crime, by the way. If anybody's not a true crime follower, a lot of people here, including myself, are interested in true crime. I have I kind of started out my training in criminal justice, but went into social work and became a therapist, and I just maintain the interest. So it's a community, though. There's a lot of people here that know each other from from some of those shows, and it's just a friendly community. So okay, yeah, it was John Kelly. Yeah, that was a show that was a lot of fun. He's great. If anybody's interested, that was John Kelly Profiler here on YouTube, and we talked about some of the clear my throat, hold on. Some cases that have been going on that animals were witnesses. And he had me on to talk about animals and the perspective of the animals in those situations and how perhaps they could be used to help in those cases. I didn't get too in depth on his show about using animal communication. That was a little bit intentional. We talked about it, and not everybody that watches his kind of stuff is as open, and that wasn't so much the purpose either. We kind of touched on it, but there really is a purpose to communicating with animals who have been witnesses to crime. They can help us to see through their eyes what happened. So they're a wonderful resource, and I do offer that at no cost. If somebody has had a pet in a situation where there's been a crime, or the pet has been a victim of a crime, so if you're trying to get a picture of what happened, or an animal has been harmed in some way through a crime, I will communicate with you. I'm not trying to do it on the show in front of the world. It's something that we can do privately, but just get in touch with me at Ann with an E at intuitivetouchanimalcare.com if you're interested in that. And so I do that as a pro bono service. Yeah, Murphy in the Idaho 4 case. Oh yes, Duty Ron was here in chat too at some point. Duty Ron is a retired police officer, so he has a channel. Check that out. And I was backing this up because Good Night Out, I have something I just saw in the news this afternoon, but it's not good news, unfortunately. Oh, okay. There often isn't. Sometimes, we see good things with animals in the news. Sometimes there's some sad things that go on. So it can be tough to watch some of that stuff. I try not to focus too much. I thought about doing a show that was focused on animals in the news, and I kind of have put it to the side right now. It may be down the road. I have a little bit too much going on right now, but I'm doing a new website, and it's just taking up a lot between my business and my other practice and trainings I'm doing right now. But I've thought about that. Animals found deceased in abandoned trailer. Ugh. Fortunately, police are investigating. Well, that's good, because I know sometimes they don't. Some of these situations, I don't feel like they do enough. And I'm not coming down on the police at all. I'm not an anti-police person at all. I'm a supporter, but sometimes with these cases, you're kind of like, are you going to do more? to figure out what happened here. So that's good to hear. Yeah, it can be hard for sensitive souls, animals, and people. Absolutely. Yeah, it's very true. That's why another reason we have this channel is to have a community of people that are like-minded and kind of understand each other. It's a little safe haven, hopefully. And I do try to put things on here too that help people and animals just cope better in this world. Acupressure and things like that. All right. Okay, well, I also want to mention, if you have any show ideas, if there's topics that you're interested in, let me know. I might use them. You can always post them or email me. And yeah, sometimes they take a backseat to everything. I think that's kind of the common thread with a lot of people here, is that we're more likely to think of our animals as a top priority. The people that come in here are focused on giving their pets the best lives they can. So that's what we hope to do here, is to have information that can help you do that. That's always my goal with my business, is to keep learning, keep passing along information, teaching, and helping people to have information to help their pets. Thank you. I actually am not sick. It's just something like irritated my nose, and I sound like kind of like I'm sick, but it's just a little bit of an allergy. So, all right. Well, I will miss you guys at the end of this month, but yes, definitely an excellent company. But I will be back in April, and I hope everybody is well and safe, and please give your animals a hug and a kiss from me, and stay in touch, and have a good evening, everybody. God bless.
Rub my belly. Rub my belly.